ready.
Well,
Okay.
take it away.
Hello everyone. I'm sure you know our names by now, but Bree, Mark, Stacie, Tim. We're going to be talking to you today about driver's licenses and the requirement you need to have them. We're going to start with a little video.
I'm a teenage girl. Yeah, that Becky texts and says she's kissed Johnny. Well, that's a problem because I like Johnny. Now I'm emotionally compromised and pussies.
Okay. So we all laugh because it's funny, but the reason that it's funny is because it's kind of true. This commercial, the Allstate commercial, is a little gender specific, yes, which I don't agree with. But the fact is there is a correlation between teenage drivers and increase in accident rates. The CDC, or the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, say in 2010 about 2,700 teens in the U.S. aged 16 to 19 were killed, and almost 282,000 were treated and released from emergency department for injuries suffered in motor vehicle crashes. Now, the DMV for California has a specific set of requirements that they ask for drivers to finish or complete for you to receive your driver's license. I'm sure most of you have your driver's licenses, so you went through this process, but I'll kind of remind you of it again. The name of it is, it's called the graduation license. They require you to be a minimum of 16 years old, a semester of driver's education, 6 hours of behind-the-wheel driver's training with an instructor, and 60 hours of behind-the-wheel experience with a guardian 25 years or older. Now, this process isn't as safe as it could be. As we all know that teenagers are more likely to get into accidents. This isn't preventing or creating a safe environment for any drivers on the road. Our petition today is what we'll have you sign, allows us to create a proposition that changes the graduation license. We're establishing the graduation license 2.0. The reason that we call it that is because we're doubling what they ask of, what the graduation license asks of us. Now, I'll go into exactly what we're asking. Like I said, we're doubling it. So instead of 6 hours of training behind the wheel with an instructor, we ask for 12. Instead of a semester of driver's education, we ask for a year. Instead of 60 hours, we ask for 120 hours of behind the wheel with a guardian. And we're also increasing the age to 18. Now you may say that, or our opponents may say that 18, well, it just means that they'll have more crashes when you're 18. But that's not the focus. The age isn't really the focus. It's just giving each driver more time to practice and prepare for the dangers that are on the road. Now Stacie's going to go into the physical safety and the safety of all drivers that our proposition and our petition will increase. And then Tim's also going to talk about the physical safety of drivers and parents. And then Mark's going to finalize our position. The graduation license 2.0 will make the road safer for all drivers. I know for me and for all of us, we worry about ourselves on the road, our loved ones, and everyone else. So graduation license 2.0 will create a safer road for everyone. Now, Stacie, if you want to go into discussing your portion.
Okay. I'm going to talk to you guys about the accident rates and kind of why young drivers are so prone to getting into accidents. I know we were all 16 once, and as young drivers, even though we would like to think we were as prepared as we would want to be, we're not. Inexperience is a big issue with young drivers. They just don't have enough of it before they get their driver's license. A statistic I found at the Rocky Mountain Insurance Information Association stated that 16-year-olds have higher crash rates than any other age group out there. And in fact, per mile driven, their accident rates are twice as high as 18 and 19-year-old drivers. This is why we think that a change is needed. They need more experience to make a safer driving environment for all of us. I want to tell you guys a story about my brother. 2 months after he got his license, about a week after he turned 16, he was driving with his girlfriend in the car, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to have anyone in the car for, I think, 6 months. Probably listening to music, not paying as close of attention as he should have. And the little boy drove his bike into the middle of the street. My brother hit this little boy with his car. They were all lucky. Boy walked away with his life. just a broken arm, probably more stunned than anything else, but he still hit somebody with his car, and that could be avoided. And that's what we're trying to do. I mean, what if next time it's you that they hit with their car, or your neighbor, your little brother, your kid if you have kids? It can happen, and it does happen. On a fact sheet I found on a law website, it's just kind of like a compilation of facts for lawsuits. It says that 16-year-olds make up less than 4% of our drivers, yet they're involved in 19% of accidents involving injury and death. And 82% of those accidents are caused by driver error. More experience could change that. Not only are they hurting other people, but they're hurting themselves. Motor vehicles are one of the leading causes of teen deaths here in California. It causes 35% of deaths. So why are they so dangerous? Well, there's many factors that contribute. Like I said, they all seem to stem back to inexperience. According to the DMV, a few of the risk factors I found that some 16-year-olds may possess are poor hazard detection, because it takes time to identify those hazards and threats. We need that experience. Low risk perception, because they tend to underestimate the risk of being in a crash and overestimate their ability to avoid it. The fact that they're risk takers, they tend to speed more, tailgate, not use their turn signals, little things like that. I'm sure you could think of 1,000 others. And simply the lack of skill, because they have not mastered the skills and knowledge they need to drive safely for not only themselves, but for us as well. And like Breanna was saying, it's not about just raising the age from 16 to 18. We know that if we just raise the age, the 18-year-old drivers probably aren't going to fare any better than those 16-year-old drivers. It's more about the time in between that really counts. That increased experience, those increased hours behind the wheel that are going to make a big change for us. So I've talked about our physical safety. I'm going to let Tim talk about what's actually costing us.